I'm gonna take this seagrass shade. Ooh. You guys, this shade just like straight up fell out of the palette. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I forgot to do an intro. So if you want to see the swatches and see how I got this look using the Ace Beauty Oceanic palette, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so this is past Raeann reporting in to this video. So I'm going to film this in 2 different chunks, basically. Gonna show you guys the palette and then do the swatches, and then tomorrow I will be actually doing the look with the palette. Excuse me that excuse the fact that I am wearing my glasses. They're taking up half of my face. And I still have Monday residue on my face because I'm tired and ready to get into bed, but I got this baby in the mail. I've been waiting for it for about a week now. I kept checking my shipping thing, tracking thing, and it kept saying that it was in the same spot and it hadn't moved. It was stuck in Houston, Texas or something like that for a while, and then all of a sudden this morning I got a text message saying that she was gonna be arriving in the mail today. Pretty exciting. And if you're asking what this is the Ace, I don't know how to pronounce this right here. We're just gonna say Beauty. I don't think it's actually supposed to be pronounced just Beauty, but the Ace Oceanic palette, and I am excited for this. I actually haven't opened it up yet. Obviously I know what it's supposed to look like and it's supposed to be beautiful, but I haven't opened it up yet. I literally just got in the mail. I got home about an hour ago and was like, I need to film this. Show you guys in detail their packaging. I've only ever had one of their palettes before, but the packaging is gorgeous. And I love the little seashells. And I just, you know me, I love the foil. I love foil writing and everything. I love it. So I've talked about their Flare palette before, but this is what the Flare palette looks like. So very similar. I like that they keep the same sort of style for their palettes. Anyways, let's take this baby out of the box. Also, I promise you, I don't just wear black and gray shirts. Most of the time they are band t-shirts. And, yeah, you just can't see the writing. So this is a sweet, that wasn't sweet, but sweet Johnny Cash shirt. So, not just a plain black shirt. Don't know why I needed to justify that, but it's much cooler than what this looks like. Okay. Oh my god. I am in love with this already. Like, I am in love with this palette already. Before we keep going, yes, the front of the palette looks exactly like the box. It's gorgeous. Alright. Anyways, this palette is breathtaking. Like, I can't even go, and I know I haven't even shown you guys yet, but I'm still trying to process this. So, look at that. Like, this is freaking gorgeous. Like, I knew this was going to be beautiful, but oh my god. I don't think I was prepared for that. I really don't. I'm so excited to use this. Oh, and it comes with a little mirror on the palette. I could have worded that better, but it comes with a mirror. So this is what it looks like. And oh my god, you guys. This is absolutely freaking insane. Like, I'm in love. Okay, so we're gonna do the swatches kind of fast. I might kind of speed it up, and you know what? We'll just try to go fast, and I will just say the titles and stuff. I was thinking of putting the titles in later, but we'll just go ahead and so I'm gonna go start with the first row. But we'll start first row, left to right, second row, left to right, and so on. So, oh, by the way, this is probably something to mention, is this palette has, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So this palette has 15 shades, and it retails for $38. So I'm gonna say it's a little more, not quite high-end pricing, but a little more expensive than your average palette, drugstore palette, which they're not a drugstore brand, so totally understandable. I think their smaller palettes retail for like 20 something, I believe. So, but you do get a lot of shades in this, and I mean, I've only used one of their palettes before and I was very impressed, so I hope I am just as impressed with this palette here. But anyways, let's move my old cup of coffee from this morning and get into these swatches. So the first shade is Bora Bora. Super pretty, like periwinkle shade. Wow. That is gorgeous. So super pretty, like shimmery periwinkle shade. The next shade is Jellyfish. So go in again, we'll just do one swipe of it. And that's Jellyfish. That one's super pretty too. I'm sure I'm going to say that about every single shade, but bear with me. The next shade is Mykonos. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. It's kind of this minty green. Also, these shimmers, like I kind of, when I do my look tomorrow, I kind of want to use like all of those. Or just try to use like every single shade if I can. Wow, so this next shade is Blue Clam, and it's like a royal blue color, but that came out of the pan like super, super velvety. Trying to refocus before, there we go. So it swatches out a little patchy, but it's a matte shade, so, you know, you don't really know how the matte shades are going to work until you actually try them, so I'm not worried about that. The next shade after that, and this is the last shade in the first row, is called Pacific. So again, it's kind of swatching out a little patchy, but overall, these are absolutely stunning. I'm gonna see if I can keep going down going down my arm before I have to start wiping stuff off. So this next shade is the first shade in the second row, and it's Bali. So this is like a matte kind of periwinkle color. These two would pair like super pretty together. And the next shade is Fiji. That's gorgeous. And the shade next to this one is Turtle. It's like a foresty, matte foresty green. These are beautiful, you guys. I'm super excited for these next two. I mean, I'm excited for literally all of them, but excited for these next two. So this next one is a darker blue shimmer that's kind of, honestly, it's like a blue-gray, and it's called Marina. So honestly, these shimmers are swatching out like perfectly. The next shade, so it's the last one in this second row, and it's called Bay. That one didn't swatch quite as nicely as the other shimmers did, but it may not have had quite enough product on there. Okay, I'm having a total like Finding Nemo moment. The first shade in the third line, I didn't think I was gonna have a problem pronouncing it, and I totally, yes, this is 100% like Finding Nemo status. But this shade is called Anemone. And I said it right, so I'm excited. Okay. For some reason, I thought I was going to completely butcher that, even though I know how to say it. But, you know, sometimes there's just words that you know how to say, and then when it comes down to it, you just can't do it when you need to. And that seemed like it was going to be one of those words. Yeah, that one could have used a little more pigment on there, but it's still really pretty. Okay, so I either go to my elbow or try to cram these in as close as possible. I only have 4 more shades left to swatch, and this one, look at that. Oh, my finger's kind of dirty still, but that is a neon green. That is a neon green. Like, that is the perfect neon color if I've ever seen one. And I don't know if I've said it, if I said the name already, and it's Algae. That is stunning. The next shade is Seaweed. It's kind of like a muted, like army green, this next one. And then Seagrass. So it reminds me of like a golf course, like the fake turf stuff. And yes, I'm practically at my elbow. And the last shade in the palette is, ooh, that's a really pretty, like, dark, like, navy blue. And I don't remember what it's called, even though I just looked at it, and yeah, that one's kind of swatching out kind of funky too. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that, to be honest. Anyways, that shade was called Lagoon. I don't remember if I said that already. And we'll just take a look at these shades again. I want to get you guys a little bit closer, but my camera is kind of not focusing when I get closer with this ring light, at least. Hold my arm up too long. Okay, so we'll show you. It's probably the closest I can get without having it go out of focus. Wow, I'm so excited to use this palette tomorrow. Like I said, I will be using this palette and doing a look for you guys, but I am filming this in 2 separate days. So hopefully I'll have this video up on Wednesday, or at least sometime this week. I wasn't sure. I'm going on a trip for my birthday because my birthday's coming up, and I wasn't sure I wasn't sure if I was going to be getting this palette in time. So I filmed 2 videos already and then realized that I was going to have this palette in time. So those are the swatches. I'm super excited to use this palette, and we will see you tomorrow morning so I can do a look with this baby. I'm so excited. Okay, so we are back. And this is going to be the second time I'm going to be filming or trying to film this look, and I'm talking kind of low right now because everybody is sleeping. I'm actually filming this before I leave for work. It's the second time I'm going to try to film a look with this palette. I'm probably not going to talk about the shades too much as I'm doing them. This might be kind of like a point at it and then do the thing and speed everything up. I'm going to do both eyes at the same time because I'm getting ready for work, and that way I don't put all of my time into one eye and then don't have the other eye done. I need more coffee. So I'm just gonna kind of point at the shade, speed everything up. I'm not gonna show you what I'm doing to the other eye. I'm probably gonna just cut out completely so you're only seeing that I'm doing this eye. But then you're noticing that this eye is like also getting like worked on. I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. And by the way, if I'm out of focus, I'm so sorry, or if something looks weird and I'm not catching it. I don't have my contacts in, so I'm kind of doing this a little blind as far as the filming part of it goes. So, and this cup is so cute. It says you're the burger to my fries. And it's almost as big as my face. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. If I feel, since I've already worked with it, I'm gonna kind of let you guys know at the end how I feel about the palette. I've used majority, or I used a ton of these shades in my previous look that I filmed yesterday that obviously you guys can't see. Basically what happened is I finished it and my eyes got really sensitive, and basically they got so watery that it just destroyed this area right in here. I started like rolling down my face and my eyeliner got messed up. I was just about to put the eyelashes on and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna forget about that and get into this. So I'm gonna go in with this blue clam shade here. So that Bali shade wasn't really giving me what I wanted, so I'm gonna use this Fiji shade instead. The Bali shade just wasn't showing up too pigmented, blended into that royal blue shade. I have no idea how this looks on camera, so okay, it looks a little scary, but that's alright, we'll figure it out. So just going back into that blue clam shade. Then I'm gonna go into, we're gonna go into Pacific and then Lagoon. But depending on how it's looking, I might switch the two. Honestly, not sure what one would be better, like what one's a little bit darker. These two shades are just to deepen it up. Okay, so I went into Pacific and then I'm going into Lagoon. Also, I want to note that it's very brave of me, one, to be doing all blue right now, like none of the green or anything like that. Because you know how I feel about blues. I love the shades, but just not the best of them. And not only am I going into blues, but it's like I haven't even finished my coffee yet, so this looks weird. Just roll with me. Okay. So I'm just gonna revisit some of the shades that I just used. And then I'm gonna cut my crease out. Before then I might try to go in with that Bali shade, but you know what, I think I've taken up a lot of my lid, so I might not. Okay, so I'm gonna go clean up this mess and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this jellyfish shade, and I am gonna take my fingers because I do know that the shimmers are really pretty, but they definitely are better applied with your fingers, at least after I cut my crease and stuff. I don't know if my eyes are still like not set all the way, but yesterday I did have a hard time using the shimmers after I cut my crease, so I thought it was just probably me, maybe the concealer wasn't like dried down completely or whatever it was. So I did realize that the shimmers were hard to build up unless you use your fingers. I don't think that's going to be the case for like every single time. I think it's just the amount of concealer, or maybe this specific concealer that I'm using. I just realized that it was a little bit easier applying these with my fingers, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And I'm just going to see how it applies wet, so I just put pigment on my brush and then spray it. And I actually want to go in with that Mykonos shade, the one that fell out of my palette, and just have that like, you know what, it's a little too late for that, never mind. Now I'm gonna go into that anemone shade, this one here, and I totally have concealer on my palette, so that's nice. Actually, I forgot the rule. For some reason these shades aren't looking too different from each other. So back in with that jellyfish color. Then I forgot I need to make sure I do the same thing on this side. Just need to get closer to that crease. Then I actually think I'm gonna go into this turtle color, and let me use a different brush. I'm gonna take that Lagoon shade instead. And then just kind of quickly go back over with the other shades that I used. Okay, so it's actually looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna just finish up this eye. I might add something underneath my eye. I don't know if I'm gonna do that because last time my eyes got super sensitive. So I'm gonna finish this eye and basically my whole face actually. I'll let you guys know if I do anything like different, but I'm gonna finish up this eye, do the rest of my face, and I'll be back. Okay, so this is the finished look. Hopefully this doesn't look weird. I mean, I can see what it looks like in the mirror, but I have no idea what it looks like on the camera. So forgive me if anything's messed up or looks funky because I literally don't know if it does. Anyways, so my thoughts on the palette, I think it's basically the same as the Flare palette, and I think I showed you guys earlier what that one looks like. So quality wise, I think it's exactly the same. It's really easy to work with. I did feel like the shimmers do have to be applied with your finger. I'm not sure if it was the base that I was using, so like if it was the concealer that I was using or what it was. So it may not be the case every single time you apply it, but I felt like the last 2 times, so the first 2 times and the last 2 times that I used it, I did feel like I got the ultimate like pigmentation when I was using my fingers. So as far as brushes go, it doesn't mean that it wouldn't look good with a brush, but at least the base that I was using for like the cut crease and everything, it felt like I had to use my fingers and able to get it to look the way that I wanted it to. Not saying that you couldn't build it up with a brush, but I did try to use a brush and have the pigment be wet, and it wasn't really working the way that I wanted it to, but that doesn't really bother me. I honestly prefer to use my fingers for most shimmer shades anyways, so it's not anything crazy to me. As far as fallout goes, there was some fallout just like the Flare palette, but that also doesn't bother me either. But I really feel like the formula was identical to the other palette I have from them, which I really appreciate. I feel like some brands, the formula is not consistent to where like you get one palette, you love it, you get the next palette, you are like, what happened? So I feel like the formula was identical. It's really easy to work with. The shades are beautiful. I just love this theme overall, and I mean, I look like a tropical fish right now. So, you know, I love it. I am a little bummed about what happened with the shade falling out, but that happens. I'm just glad it didn't break, and I'm glad none of the other shades fell out. So it probably just got loose like on its way here, but at least it didn't show up broken, you know, like it could always be worse. So I don't really mind that happened. I really hope that I was able to put that part in the video to show you guys like what happened exactly, but and like my reaction to it. But other than that, this palette is gorgeous. I love it. Really excited to keep using it. I mean, I want to show you guys the palette over and over again just because it's so pretty. And you know, I might have lost that Mykonos shade. I might have lost it. But this palette is beautiful. I'm really impressed with how everything works. Pigmentation is really nice. Like I said, the shimmers, you do have to kind of build them up a little bit, or at least, you know, I feel like every situation is different. But I'm thinking maybe the concealer that I used for my base, maybe it just wasn't like set enough, like it wasn't dry enough, and maybe that's why it wasn't really going on that well. I did use a glitter primer, the NYX one that I always use, so maybe that was one of the reasons why. I don't know, I feel like there was something on my end, and that's the reason why the shimmers weren't really going on like super smoothly. But once I used them with my fingers, it was like perfect. So But my thoughts on this palette is I love it. If you are into this color scheme, I definitely recommend it to you. I think it's beautiful. I really like their formula. So if you haven't used any of their palettes before, you haven't tried them, I would definitely, you know, go ahead and give them a try. You can always try one of their smaller palettes too, one of their like original ones, but if you like this color scheme, I think it's beautiful for the summer, especially those days that you're really like, you really put an effort into how you look, because most days in the summer I kind of just like eyebrows and that's it. It gets so hot out here. I really enjoy this palette. I'm so happy I got it. It's gorgeous. I definitely recommend it to you, especially if you like this color scheme. Obviously it's very specific, so it's just blues and greens basically, but if you are into that color scheme, I would say yes, you need this. It comes with however many shades I said earlier, I don't remember, for $38, so I feel like that's a decent price. It is more on the pricier side of it, but I think it's worth it, you know. I mean, I didn't have any problems using any of the shades other than my glitter shimmer issue. It's really easy to work with. Alright, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also follow me on Instagram if you don't already. The link is down below. And we will see you next time.